In this video, we have a comparison of the NuPhy Air75 to the Logitech MX Mechanical Mini for Mac. Before we dive into this, I want to point out that neither of these keyboards were sent to me for review by the manufacturer. I purchased both of them with my own money. If you're looking for a low-profile keyboard in a 75% layout, either as your main keyboard or to pair with a laptop, then these two keyboards have likely crossed your radar. The Air75 from NuPhy has become a very popular choice in this space, and also, of course, you can't discount anything from Logitech because they already have such a big piece of the marketplace when it comes to keyboards. So which one is the better option? Well, let's start out by talking about the price of both of these, and then I will talk about the details of the Logitech MX Mechanical Mini for Mac, and then we'll do pros and cons compared to the Air75. The Logitech MX Mechanical Mini for Mac has an MSRP of $149 US. Meanwhile, the NuPhy Air75 goes for $109.95 on NuPhy's website. And if you order on NuPhy's website, that does ship directly from NuPhy in China, and there is a $15 standard shipping charge to the US, so it winds up costing $124.95. However, I should mention I have an affiliate coupon code with NuPhy that gets you 10% off any purchase with NuPhy, so you could save 10% off of that. So let's start with the Logitech, and we'll go through the basic details and specifications here, and then we'll start doing some pros and cons compared to the Air75. Let's talk build materials first. The bottom case is plastic, and the top has an aluminum plate on it that adds a little bit of heft to it and a little bit more of a premium feel and look, which is nice. The keycaps are shine-through ABS plastic, so they are not PBT, which is my first criticism of a $150 keyboard not having PBT keycaps. And the backlight is a white only. There is no RGB option if you were looking for multicolored backlighting. Now, one of the interesting features about it is it's supposed to have touch or hover sensitive backlighting, meaning the backlighting will sort of go to sleep if you don't have your hands over the keyboard, and it will sort of come on with your hands over the keyboard. I haven't tested it out a ton, but in my experience, it seems to work about half the time. Like, sometimes the backlighting doesn't come on when my hands are over the keyboard. Sometimes it just doesn't turn off when my hands are off the keyboard. Your results may vary on that feature. Of course, you can just use it with the backlighting off, and that will greatly extend the battery life. And that is the main selling point of the MX Mechanical Mini. Although it only has a 1500 milliamp hour battery, the life that you get out of that battery is pretty fantastic. And in the time that I spent using it, I have no reason to dispute the claims from Logitech. They claim that you can get 15 days of consecutive use out of the keyboard if you're using the backlighting, or up to 10 months of battery life if you're not using the backlighting. And that is pretty amazing. So if battery life is at the absolute top of your list, if that's like the only thing you care about, this one is going to win in terms of the comparison to the Air75. But let's talk about a few more details of it. Your connectivity here is mainly over Bluetooth. You have 3 Bluetooth connections with function 1, 2, and 3 keys permanently assigned to switching between your 3 devices. It also works with Logitech's Logibolt wireless receiver dongle. However, they don't provide one in the box. So if you want a 4th connection option, or if you don't want to use Bluetooth, you can use one of those Logibolt receivers. However, you'll have to buy that separately. And now we come to another criticism I have of this keyboard. There is no wired connection option. The USB-C connection is only for charging the internal battery. Now, I get that most users are looking at this keyboard for its wireless capabilities and will be using it as a wireless keyboard, but I just think, why not give you that option to use it in wired mode? Also, as I mentioned earlier, this is the MX Mechanical Mini for Mac model, so your keycaps that it comes with are Mac specific. Now, the regular MX Mechanical Mini, of course, comes with dual purpose keycaps. They have both Mac key information and Windows key information on them. So if you're a Windows user, you'd be looking at the regular MX Mechanical Mini. Also, just want to point out that you can customize the functions of the function keys from F4 to F12. You can't change F1 through 3 because that's your Bluetooth device switching. However, 4 through 12, you can change the functions using the Logi Options Plus software, and you can also customize home and page up and page down. Now let's talk about the switches, because this is a low-profile mechanical keyboard. So if you're looking for an improved typing experience over a membrane wireless low-profile keyboard like Apple's Magic Keyboard or a lot of other wireless low-profile keyboards on the market, then of course you're going to care about the typing experience. The switches that Logitech went with here are manufactured by Kale. Now, if you get the regular MX Mechanical Mini, you have three options. You've got your tactile, linear, and clicky switch options. If you go for the MX Mechanical Mini for Mac model, man, that is too much alliteration. Then you only have one choice. It comes with the tactile option, which is just a brown switch, and you don't have the option of the linear or the clicky switch. Now, my Air75 has Gatoron low-profile brown 2.0 switches in it. We'll get to those details in just a second. To me, these switches feel very, very scratchy, just pretty unpleasant in my opinion. I'm gonna do my best to give you a really close-up sound sample of the actuation sound of these switches compared to the Gatoron low-profile brown 2.0s, which are factory lubed, that are in my Air75, just so hopefully you can hear the difference, since you can't feel the difference unless you have the keyboard. And what makes that even more soul-crushing for me about the Logitech MX Mechanical Mini is that the switches are soldered in. This is not a hot swap keyboard, which for a big brand like Logitech, I'm not surprised. Logitech is certainly not alone in that, but we're talking about a Logitech keyboard here, so I had to point it out. Now, amazing battery life aside, I just can't recommend this keyboard for that reason. It is a deal breaker for me if a mechanical keyboard does not have satisfying switches to type on, and you also can't change them. All right, that's enough ranting from me about the MX Mechanical Mini. Let's talk more about the Air75 and the pros and cons between them, as well as some of the trade-offs. As far as the pros with the MX Mechanical Mini, as I mentioned, the battery life is going to beat the Air75. The Air75 will work for up to 300 hours with the backlighting off with continuous regular usage, whereas Logitech claims up to 10 months with the backlighting off for the MX Mechanical Mini. The MX Mechanical Mini also has nice aesthetics. If you are a Mac user, especially if you have a nice silver colored Mac laptop, this definitely goes with the aesthetic. However, NuPhy's design aesthetics are no slouch either. I also really like the look of the Air75 and really all of NuPhy's products. If I were to summarize the cons for the MX Mechanical Mini, besides all of those things I already talked about, it would really just be what you get for the money, because there's a lot that you don't get for an MSRP of $150. As I already mentioned, the Air75 just costs less. Even if you pay full price and don't use my discount code to get 10% off, with shipping to the US, you're gonna pay about $125. What you get for that lower price with the Air75 is still 3 Bluetooth connections, as well as an included 2.4 gigahertz wireless receiver connection. So you have 4 connections right out of the box. And it also works over the wired connection. So if you suddenly find yourself having an issue with latency or something like that, and you just need to use it over the wired connection for a while, it's fine. It'll work perfectly over the wired connection. The switches included are Gatoron low profile, and NuPhy's been shipping them with the Gatoron low profile 2.0 for a while now since they became available. They even include a sample of their switches in the box, so you have a sample, at least a mini sample, to try them out if you don't like the ones that came in your keyboard. And again, the typing feel and experience of the switches, it's just night and day difference. It's just that much better than the Logitech. The keycaps are not shine through, so if you really like to see as much of the backlighting as possible, they are not shine through, so you would have to get aftermarket keycaps to have them be shine through. However, the backlighting is full RGB, and there are 21 different options for the RGB backlighting, so you get a lot more options there. Now, when it comes to customizing the Air75, you can do full remapping and add macros and things like that. However, for Mac users, there's a caveat. This is one place where NuPhy, to me, has a little bit of catch up to do with other manufacturers like Keychron. NuPhy keyboards only support NuPhy's console software for key remapping and adding macros and things like that. You cannot use VIA or QMK. It is only available for Windows. So if you are interested in having that full remapping capability and you only have a Mac computer, you won't be able to do it with any NuPhy keyboard right now. So that is one downside for the Air75. Let's talk about the feet and one other thing you can do with the Air75 that you can't do with the Logitech. So when it comes to the feet, the Logitech has one position adjustable feet, or pop-out feet. So it's got the standard typing position, which is not quite flat. It is a slight incline, but then it's also got these feet that fold out, which I prefer over the Air75, which has magnetic detachable feet. I think they call them air feet. So these just pop right off of here. And so you've got your flat typing position, and then you pop these on over these little rubber grippy feet. I personally do not like small detachable parts because, well, I lose them. So I do prefer the fold-out feet on the Logitech. That is one other minor con, in my opinion, to the Air 75. However, these very thin rubber grippy feet on the Air 75 mean you can actually do one more thing with it that you can't do with the Logitech. And that is, if you have a Mac laptop at least, I can't confirm whether you can do this with all laptops on the market. I'm sure there's some that it doesn't work, but you can actually place this right over your laptop keyboard because these little rubber grippy feet are thin enough that they'll actually fit right in between a row of keys on your laptop's keyboard. You cannot do that with the Logitech because these feet, the rubber feet on the top, are too wide and they will always be pressing a key if you try to set it on top of your laptop. So there you have it. In my opinion, what you're getting for the price is just much more worth it with the Air 75 compared to the Logitech MX Mechanical Mini for Mac. Even if I liked the typing feel and experience on the MX Mechanical Mini, I still wouldn't think it's a great value for the price. And also, I just want to mention that, just so you know, I'm not a Logitech hater in general. I really didn't want to dislike this keyboard. I love my MX Master 3S. I have several other Logitech mice that I use. So like I said, I really didn't want to dislike this keyboard. It was kind of a flop for me. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button so YouTube can show it to more people, and don't forget to subscribe to the Semi-Pro Tech and Gear channel. I will leave you now with a sound test of both of these keyboards, so hopefully you can hear that difference in the typing experience.